ABS included by the film Heartbeat of the East. Welcome to Teens Perspective. My name is Lucia Enahuru, and I am your uncle for the program. I'm here with St. John of God Secondary School students and Redeemers International High School students. I am here with Ikechukwu Ujunlago. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And I'm here with Ude to Vivian, also from St. John of God Secondary School. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And from Redeemers International High School, I am with Ofokansi Loy Fortune Ifechidere. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm also here with Awka Miss Oma Chukwu from Redeemers International High School. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
We're going to discuss the role of communication in healthy parent-child relationships. What is communication first? Loy Fortune.
Communication can be defined as, the means of getting information, passing information between two people or two individuals.
Juna, do you agree?
Well, actually, yes. But in this case, I prefer to define communication as the process of interacting between parents and child. The parent trying to understand the child's feelings and where the child reasons.
Miss Oma, do you agree?
Well, I agree. Since you asked what communication is, it's simply passing information between two people.
Then, Miss Oma, do you agree with what they said about communication? I'm sorry, Sumto Vivian.
Yes, I agree with what they say about communication because actually my own understanding, communication is the act of passing information, ideas, feelings, and opinions from one place to another, and it also means interacting with your children, communicating, giving your children attention in all they do. Thank you.
Everybody has their own idea and opinion on what communication is all about. But in this program, we are going to discuss importance of open dialogue in parent-child relationships, how effective communication builds family trust and connection, and the impact of poor communication between parents and child. Once again, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ujuna, why do you think communication is important in your relationship with your parents?
Because if a parent doesn't know how the child reasons, how the child feels, or what the child is going through, they won't have a good relationship. For starters, if your child goes to school in the morning and comes back, and the parent doesn't ask what that child wants, you know that we spend more time at school than at home. So if that parent doesn't communicate with his child, his or her child, there's no other parent who know what's going on with the child, how that child's day went, what that child experienced, how that child feels, how the child reacted to such a event, and what's going on inside the child's mind. So communication is very important in a healthy child relationship.
Loy Fortune, can you give us a positive, how do I put it now? A positive insight of when you had an issue with your parents and how you communicated it to your parents?
That's a good one. Thank you. First of all, I feel like when relating with your parent, one thing is needed, and that's transparency. You see that every child or every teenager needs to be transparent when relating with the parents or when communicating with the parents. So I feel like when a problem arises in the life of that child or that teenager, that one needs to effectively communicate with the parents in order to get necessary ideas and necessary information from the parents.
Then, Loy Fortune, you also, what happens when communication is strong in your family?
Personally, in my family, you see that when communication is strong or when communication gets really tight, you see that there's this certain bond that comes between each other, my siblings, my parents, even extended families. You see that when we are brought together, for example, in the festive season, where everyone comes back from their respective schools and universities and everything like that, you see that communication begins to, and everyone begins to rapport, and that certain kind of bond is formed between everybody again.
Ms. Oma, do you have a negative experience where you have an issue and you want to communicate with your parents and they are not even available to communicate with you? Negative experience, you have that?
Yeah.
Can you share your personal experience with us?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So at that point, my mom was busy. Yeah, and I was passing through a lot during school stuff. During school, yeah, I was going through some challenges in my academics, and she was busy with work. Is it that she leaves in the morning or she comes back late, or she leaves and then she goes to church? So at that point, I didn't really have time to talk to her. But when she kind of realized it, that I was always on my own, I keep things to myself, she made out time to ask me what is it, what is going on, and it went well.
And you communicated with her and she understood and gave you the advice you needed?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Okay. So there are negative aspects and positive aspects to this. According to Lloyd, fortunately says that when communication is strong with the family, it builds bond. Ujuna, do you agree?
Yes, I agree with that point. Because if your family doesn't communicate with each other, there's no way they'll have a strong relationship. They don't know how they behave. They won't even deal within themselves. And I actually believe that charity begins at home. Because if you can't interact well with those that are related to you, there's no way you'll be able to relate with others. For me, for example, there was a time I didn't really communicate well with my family. I used to like being alone, and I took that with me to school and my social life. I wasn't communicating well with people then. Until I started feeling alone, I started staying by myself. Until my parents saw what was happening, and they asked me, they talked to me and communicated with me, which helped me start to build a bond with my family. And from there, I took it with me outside and built a social life as well. So everything starts at home, and communication is better. It builds a healthy child relationship.
That's nice. Somto, I want to ask you, what are some things your parents do or could do to help you feel comfortable talking to them? Because we're not talking about communication, how you approach your parents and talk to your parents. What do you think a parent can do or your parents do to foster communication between a child and a parent?
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Okay, what my parents do to foster my communication, like for instance, when I'm talking to my mom now, she will be looking at me eye to eye contact. She will be understanding what I'm saying, because some parents, when you talk to them or when you try to communicate with them, they won't even listen to you. Some will be pressing phone. But for my mom, if you're communicating with her or talking with her, she will be looking at you attentionally. She will be understanding what you're saying, and she must find a solution for it. God is the one that finds all solution, but at least my mom will offer me a solution to my problem. So I love to talk to my mom because she offers me solution to some of my problems. So talking to my mom is good. She communicates with me well. She gives me solution to my problems. Thank you.
We keep saying, Mom. Ujuna, are you closer to your mom or your dad?
Actually, I'm closer to my dad.
So you communicate with your dad?
Yes.
Lloyd Fortune, let me ask you this question. Do you feel like you can trust your parents with anything? Anything?
I don't think I can really trust them with everything per se, because in as much as they're my parents, they are still individuals separate from I am. The fact that they gave birth to me does not mean that I can trust them with everything. But there are some certain things that I cannot tell any other person outside unless I have first told my parents. You understand? So I actually anything that is happening first in my life gets to my parents before getting outside. So I can trust them with inside information rather than I can trust any other person outside.
Would you agree?
Well, no. Because I feel like Not that I tell my parents like almost everything that I see. I like to tell them, I like to ask their advice before doing certain things. And because I know that my parents, they will never mislead me and they care about me the most. Like I said, I'm closer to my dad since I was a child. I was a lot closer to him than, not that there's anything wrong with my mom, just that nature made it that way. I'm closer to my dad. I can trust them with anything.
Miss Oma, you seem to be smiling. You seem to be smiling. Do you agree that you can trust your parents with anything?
No.
Why?
Well, it's not everything that I can tell them, especially my mom. She's a drama queen, so
Ah.
I don't really tell her everything. If there are things that most times I keep things to myself though, because to prevent had I known. So, but in some scenario, I just had to call my dad. I was like, Dad, so I'm passing through this, I'm passing through that. Please, do you have anything to tell me? But there are some things that I know that my mom will take well, especially when I'm angry with someone or something, and I tell her, she'll like calm me down and tell me, okay, you don't have to waste time on this, just move on and forget that thing to avoid health issues.
Okay, Miss Oma, how does open communication help family members feel more connected? How does open communication help family members feel more connected?
Well, when communication is taking place between this person, two individuals, between two individuals, they tend to know themselves well. They tend to know what makes this person angry, what makes this person happy. So it will help their relationship. It will keep them closer to each other. Since they already know each other well, they communicate very well. So it strengthens their bonds and it makes them trust each other.
It makes them trust each other. Open communication makes family members trust each other. We're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Stay tuned and do not stop like that. You're welcome to the program Teens Perspective, and we are discussing communication amongst family members. And I'm still here with the students of St. John of God Secondary School and Redeemers International High School, and we are doing justice to the topic. I am going to now go to Somto Chuku. Do you think active listening strengthens relationship?
Yes, ma. Active listening strengthens relationship because active listening involves when a parent listens to the child attentively, focus on the child when the child is talking and give the child solution. Active listening also, it makes the child to be heard, it makes the child to be valued, and it enhances good relationship between the mother and the child. It builds trust between the two of them. And also, when parents are always distracted by their phones and electronic devices, you see, we don't have active listening in it because parents will be always looking at their phone, pressing, going to all these things, and when the child will try to communicate with the parent will say, maybe the mother will say, go to your father and ask your father, maybe an assignment, and the child has an assignment to do, and the mother will say, go to your father, he will sort it for you. When the child will go to the father will say, go to your mother, he will do it for you. You see, the child won't even have anything to say. The child will be the child will be so disappointed. The child won't have anything to say because the mother or the father don't give attention to the child. And there is no active listening in it. But when there is active listening, the mother listens attentively and have eye contact with the child.
Contrary to that, I say that it's always the parents' fault. You're making it seem like the child is always innocent, and if there's a lack of communication, it comes from the parents. But personally, if anything should ruin the relationship between my parents, they're very amiable, and if anything should ruin the relationship, then it would I think it actually comes from you. Because besides the parents understanding the child, you as a child should also try to understand your parents. And as for the time of homework, there's time for everything. What if the child brought it at the wrong time? Because there's time for everything. Maybe your parent was busy with something. And then maybe when that parent now has time for it, you as a child will be like, I don't want you again, leave me alone. Yeah, there's time for everything. You can't just disturb your parents when they're busy with something. And you make it seem like it's your parents' fault for not giving you that attention.
Lord Fortune seems to be nodding his head in support of what Ujuna is saying. Lord Fortune, you have something to say?
Actually, I support what Ujuna is saying, but again, I still kind of
Support
tend towards Santo Chukwu is saying, so I'm kind of in a even state. But actually, what she said is very, very true. That it's not necessarily the parent trying to understand the children every time. The child actually needs to know the right time to meet the parents. You understand? You cannot be expecting your parents to be busy with something and then you just budge in and come in. There's a time for everything. So you cannot just, for example, your dad locked the room. His door is locked and you just budged in like that. He can be doing something important. So you actually have to know the right time to meet them. Then adding to what Somto Chukwu said, I think she mentioned active listening, actually strengthening the relationship. That's true because one of the characteristics of a good communicator is listening skills. So when the parents engage in active listening, you actually take time to understand what this child is saying. Most parents just take it as, oh, he's just saying one of those his children stuff, or this girl is just talking rubbish again. But when you actually take time to understand what they are saying, actually try and understand them, you see that most of these problems that we have in schools, most of the problems that we see children doing now will actually not come out to the public. It will actually be solved at the family. It's actually be solved in the home. You understand? Because most of the times, you see children coming to school to meet the guidance and counseling teachers about something that happened at home, about problems in the home. So when the parents actually get to listen to the children and know what they're actually feeling, you understand? You see that most of all these problems that we see children doing now will be actually solved.
From what you're saying, you support Somtochu and you're supporting Ujuna.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We kept on saying distraction. You see, in some of your opinions, you mentioned electronics distraction. I want to ask, what are the different distractions in the home? Not just from parents, but children too. What are the distractions in the home? Lord Fortune.
There are several kind of distractions. Like Somto Chukwu said before, electronic distraction can be one of them. You see where a child is trying to communicate to the parents and she's so busy on her phone, or he's so busy on his phone. You understand? So when you engage in certain things while communicating, it seems to be a means of distraction. You cannot be pressing your phone while talking to your mom. That's disrespectful. Personally, my mom will slap the hell out of you if you try it. She's talking to you and you're just on your phone, mindlessly listening to what she's saying. You'll be nodding your head, but you're actually looking at your phone. She will smack the hell out of you. But you see, when you actually drop the phone down or drop whatever you're doing at that point in time, and listen and try to know what they're saying, you see that you understand that person better, or you understand your parents better. Understand?
Miss Omachu. It's not just the phone, there are other distractions.
Or they can be busy with work, documentations at home. They'll try to work at home. If maybe they don't have much time in the office, they might bring their work things back home to finish it up. Or they might also have visitors, investments, all this stuff. So at that point, they are distracted from the child because they are busy with one thing. Like their schedule is already tight they don't have space for the child again. So at that point, they are busy. And then the aspect of the child, well, I don't really know what to say because I personally, I'm quite distracted. I have house chores, assignments. So sometimes when my mom will call me to do some things, I'll be like, Mom, please, I have assignments to do, I have notes to copy, I have things to do. At that point, we don't have that communication again.
Okay. Now we've talked about the distractions. Let's bring it down to appreciation. let's bring it down to appreciation. Ujunda, what role does expressing appreciation and support play in building stronger family bonds?
Okay, it plays a strong role. Personal appreciation. When I appreciate someone for what that person does, that person feels happy. Take me for instance, when I do something and my mom appreciates it, I feel really happy about it, and it's like it drives me to do more. But let's take academics. When my SS1, when I came first, she was very, very happy. She appreciated me a lot, and it drove me to do it again. But you notice that some children, when they are not appreciated, they feel like what they did has like there's no need for it. Like it was just a waste of their time. And who knows, maybe if that child took second, next time that person might even drop down to fifth, sixth. And then when you scold that child, like this is where effective communication takes place. If you scold that child instead of trying to understand why that child dropped so much, that child will feel even worse than before and feel even more than that. Or when it comes to, well, we've talked about academics, let's talk about, let's say, house chores now. If you do something, if you do a job very well and your parents appreciate you, next time when they come home, you notice that you not do it again. And then maybe when they scold you, maybe this time you might even get to the place by yourself. So appreciation leads to happiness, and then people discuss a lot, and it makes the bond between a parent and child even stronger than before. And even as a child, if your parent does something for you, you need to appreciate that parent. Because you can't expect your parent to do something for you. You take it with a nonchalant attitude and expect that parent to do it for you
again. So appreciation is both ways. Unfortunately, do you agree?
Yes, I definitely agree. But laying emphasis on the parent appreciating the child, that is very, very important. Because sometimes you see that parents feel like this is the obligation of the child to do chores. But even when they do those things, you really need to appreciate them. Because in as much as you're the parent of that child, it does not mean that he's enslaved or she's enslaved to you. You understand? You have to appreciate the child for whatever it is I do. Personally, my mom, anytime I do something good or any of my siblings does something that she likes, she will not just end at saying thank you. She will actually lay blessings, and all the blessings she will say your child will do this to you, your own children will do this to you, and all. So that is very, very important, because you need to appreciate that child in order for him to do it again and again. It's not just feeling like the child is meant to do it. That is what he's made for. It's not a slave, for God's sake.
Oh, okay. Appreciation goes both ways. Miss Summer was like, when Fortune was saying that you have to appreciate the child, it's very, very important. She was so excited about it. It feel like saying they are speaking to her parents. Miss Summer.
Oh my god. Well, let's just say Nigerian parents, they have wahala. In this Gen Z generation, they need to show appreciation, because we children now, we do things and we expect them to show appreciation. Just say something, notice it. Like my mom now, there was a certain time she wasn't at home on a Saturday. I cleaned her room, I washed the bedroom. She came back, she didn't say anything. I was like, Mommy, you did not notice anything in your room. I had to say something to make myself feel happy. So at that point she was like, what happened? I came back with everyone was like, Mommy, I washed your bedroom, I cleaned your room. Like, okay, thank you very much. I did not even see it. Like, Mommy. So at that point she had already said something, and I made myself okay. I felt good about it, and then she said something, she said thank you, and she also did something. So at that point I'm okay, but assuming she didn't say anything and I held it to myself, next time I might not actually do it, because I feel like she will not notice it. So, and it affects me in my own side, that's being lazy, not doing anything. But since she said it, since then I've been heartbroken, because all my siblings, they're not around, so they're in school. Just one that graduated, so I've been the only one at home with my mom. I try to keep everywhere neat, even the kitchen. So she tries, she says thank you.
From your story, Miss Oma, there was communication.
Yes.
She didn't say anything when she came back. You had to tell her, Mommy, didn't you notice something different about your room? You've communicated. And she now said, what happened? Now I came back very late. and they now told that I cleaned your room, I washed your bathroom, you see there was communication. But if there was no communication, you see that there will be a crack in the relationship between you and your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see it?
Yes.
So, in everything we're saying, we're just saying that communication is important in the family. Now, so Dochuku, have you ever felt misunderstood by your family or by your parents?
Yes, like there was a time that I did something, like I washed plates, I cleaned the house, I washed the clothes. And I was so happy because when my mom would come back, I would tell her that I did all of these things and maybe she would buy something for me. Then when she came back, like my sibling was looking for my trouble, then I hit him. Then my mommy was shouting at me, how could you do such a thing? Then my mommy didn't even find out that I did anything. Even when she saw that I washed the clothes, do this, do that, she didn't even appreciate me. I was so sad. I was feeling sad, like, oh, I did a lot of things and my mom didn't even appreciate me about it. I even cried about it, but I even cried, but later I went to my mommy and said, Mom, I did a lot of things and you didn't even give me anything for what I did.
Okay, continue.
Okay, Mom, this is not fair. My mommy said you made me angry when I came back and all these things. My mommy later appreciated me and bought something for me. So that is it.
Okay, it is the I did a whole lot of things and you did not appreciate me for me, but there was communication. Now, Loy Fortune, how does unclear communication cause misunderstandings within the family?
Unclear communications. Well, when you don't express yourself well, when you don't express yourself properly, you don't expect the recipient of the information to understand you. Because you're the one that has the thing in mind. You're the one that knows what you want to say. So when you're not being clear, when you're not being head on what you want to pass on, you see that they may not really understand you. I have experienced it beforehand because you see that parents are not in the same generation with you. So when you're talking to them or when you're trying to communicate to them, you, let's say, break it down to their level or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be, but just try and make them understand that thing that is in your heart. What also didn't know be if I should translate it in English. So you just translate it to the way they understand whatever is in your heart, pour it out. You understand? Try and be as clear as possible. Because at the end of the day, you see that if you don't communicate whatever problem you have properly, you will still be the one that will suffer it. You understand? So you have to be as clear as possible.
Contrary to that,
Okay.
some parents, even though you're clear to them, like you said, the generation we are not there. So they'll be like, even when you tell them, okay, this is what I'm facing, they'll not see it as a big deal. They'll be like, even at that, you're not meant to say such word, or you're not meant to do that. So even when you break it down to their own understanding, they will still not understand you. They will still not get what you're trying to say. So you just have to like rest the case and let things go on.
Bojona, do you agree that you need to rest the case?
No, actually no. Because me, I must get my justice. If something happens, we must get to the bottom of that. There was time my mom came back at night and she found out that the sitting room was like wet, there was water everywhere. She met my elder sister first, and my elder sister said that I'm the reason for that. And I just saw me to be coming out by that time. And when my mom saw me, she was shouted at me. I'm really for that. And I got angry. And I shouted back that you can't blame me for something that I didn't cause. Then we didn't really communicate effectively. I was more of trying to shift the blame. Then later I left. That time when everything calmed down again, I came back. And when they tried to talk to me, I refused to listen. But I like, we have to get to the bottom of that case first. I'm not responsible for it, so you will not blame me for it. And later I found that it was actually my elder sister. Although she didn't know it was her. You know, sometimes you do something but you didn't know you were responsible. So she thought it was me. Anyway, later my mom told her she shouldn't place blames like that, and she told me sorry. No, so that's what I wanted to hear.
Okay. You know, Miss Oma said you just rest the discussion. It will now bring me down to this my next question. you said you allow it to rest, Miss Roma. Then how can avoiding difficult conversation that yeah, you feel is difficult, they are not understanding you, and you now allow it to rest? Don't you think it will lead to bigger conflict over time?
Oh,
Because you have left it and you're still in pain, and it is not you that did it. You did not communicate well. So don't you think it's going to lead to bigger conflicts over time?
well, when I said dressing the case, I meant my mom shouting, or let's say I did something. Yeah, if I still remember, I did something which I didn't intentionally mean it in the way she thought. So I was trying to like explain that this is not what I meant. Like this is not. She didn't really give me that chance though. Then I just had to leave it to prevent her shouting at me, because I'm that kind of person. I don't actually like people shouting at me. I'm down to earth. Just talk to me, correct me if I do something wrong. You don't necessarily need to shout at me, because once you shout at me, I'll feel terrible at my own self. I'll start shouting at myself for doing such thing. So I was trying to like explain to her, but she didn't really get what I was trying to say. So I just had to leave her to prevent her shouting at me and to prevent her being angry. I just wanted her to be happy and to prevent her being angry too. So I just had to like forget the case and then move on. That's what I meant. But for crossing the conflict, I don't think so, because at that point I understood my mom because she was kind of stressed at that point. So I just left her.
Lloyd Fortune, advice to the girl that called.
I would just say I'll just tell her that
Speak up, please.
I'll say that she should actually meet a respectable person that she knows that the dad actually respects. It can be from the extended family, it can be from the nuclear family within the environment and whatnot. But she should find somebody like that she knows that whenever this person speaks, her dad will listen. So she should find such a person and tell the person about the issue, tell the person about the case, and bring the person to come and calm her father down and something like that. Then speaking on religious basis now, she should actually kind of table her issues to God and know wherever it leads.
Okay.
That's all I would say.
Ujuna,
I think action speaks louder than words. Since her father believes that she did something to someone, this was someone said. If her behavior proves otherwise, then her father is going to rethink his decision. I think she should work towards proving it to him, and maybe when he starts questioning his decision, he's going to create an avenue for them both to speak, or rather solve the problem from the person that caused it. Find that person that told him that talk to that person. Maybe get that person to understand that what she saw was wrong. Let him come and let he or she come and clarify with her dad himself. Yes.
in other words, what we're seeing is effective communication is good in the family. And parents should learn to listen to their children, and the children should always learn to communicate in the right way. Remember, we said there are 3 styles of communication, which is the passive,
Aggressive, and
good. That's the one that is good for in the family is the assertive. You don't need to be passive, be collecting everything, or be aggressive to your family, to your parents. Because once you're aggressive, you tend to build conflict in the home. Do we agree?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to the show. I still have here with me Ikechukwu Junnago from St. John of God Secondary School. Thank you very much.
It's my honor.
Ude Okesomto Chukwu Vivian. Thank you very much for lending your voice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ofokasi Loy Fortune Ifechi Bere from Redeemers International High School. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss.
And I also have Waka Mbesoma from Redeemers International High School. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And also to Redeemers International High School, thank you for lending your children to us, and also to St. John of God Secondary School. Thank you for giving us those intelligent children that came to give us their voice. Remember, this program will be coming your way, same time, same station next week. Do not touch that down, because every Saturday you will learn something.